Works for me.
All right.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. It's Carol Baskin and Lisa Spencer Novak.
Hello.
And we are going to go out to Nikita right now, and she is going to read a forever home that she wrote and illustrated with her daughter to all of the cats. So be patient with us as we find cats to read to. There you go. I've already wiped everything
Hello,
down.
thank you. All right, so I'm just going to hold up the cover here. And as Carol mentioned, this is a book that I wrote and that my daughter illustrated. And it was a labor of love, and I had the original idea way back in 2018, so it lived in my brain for a very long time. And then finally I got the text done, and then there was a little time before the text made it to illustrations. So final process, final product is with us now. And I just got done cleaning, so bear with me. So those of you out there, I'm going to speak to the kids right now, because hopefully there are some kids out there. So those of you out there that don't know what cleaning means, every day we clean all the cats' enclosures. And basically what we're mostly looking for is their poop, but sometimes there are other things that might be leftover little bits of food in their feeding lockout, or it might be some old enrichment, which we give them in the form of perfume tubes and spice bags. So there might be a sad looking paper bag that maybe has been rained on too long and that needs to come out. So there's various things, but mainly we're looking for poop, and we're also cleaning their water dishes and their feeding plates, I guess you can call them for lack of a better word there, a concrete slab that their meat is placed on. So that got done, and after you clean your own route, then you do what's called double check. So whoever cleaned one route, then you double check the route that you didn't clean. And oh, never mind, thought we had a glitch there. Oh yeah, thank you. I've had these earrings forever. They're little Santa hats with bells. And those of you that tune in for Singing Sunday know of my obsession with sleigh bells at Christmas. So I have lots.
All right, I'm going to turn this camera around.
Take this off. Read.
And then,
That as well. Oh, this is like the old days.
yeah, because I got to pick up your audio, but I got to be far enough away from you that I can do this with your face mask off.
All right, so we're going to start with Nikita, lioness. And she is not the very first cat in the book, but let me show you quickly. The very first cat in the book is Windsong, but Windsong was one of the original cats here at Big Cat Rescue, so she is no longer with us. But I wanted to make sure I included her because she is the inspiration for Big Cat Rescue, so she was a very important cat to have as part of our book.
And she used to live right there.
And I'm going to go ahead and read Windsong. So, Windsong. Noise and confusion. Is it okay if I...
If you take that off, I need to stand back. So, but yeah, but your audio is right there, so you're good.
Think we're okay?
Yeah, I can just zoom in with the camera.
Noise and confusion.
No, I mean you can take it off.
Take it off?
Yeah.
Noise and confusion. I am restrained from running. Fear is all I know. Peace and quiet now. A perfect place all my own. My forever home. And I took that as inspiration for the title as well, because this is a forever home for the cats who are rescued and come to Big Cat Rescue. Once they are here, they stay here forever. Right.
I'm going to move around behind you so I can get you and Nikita.
All right. So if you can see, oh, Nikita.
Yeah, we're reading to you.
So this is Nikita. Nikita. Cold, dark floor, so hard. Hunger, pain, nowhere to hide. Four walls surround me. Lying in the sun, the tall grass giving comfort. Doing a slow. And she's not doing a slow roll right now, but she's
It's so slow we can't see it.
doing most of it. So Nikita's story was very tragic. The reason for this picture is that this is how she was found when she was rescued. And she was quite young, just still a year old. And she came from Tennessee. And as you may or may not know, lions live in social groups in the wild. So she would have been one of the few cats that we rescue who would have benefited from living with other lions. But because of her treatment in her before life and the fact that she was declawed, it was not possible for her to be introduced into a group of lions successfully, into a pride of lions. And that was attempted at a zoo in Tennessee, so it was decided that this would be her forever home.
And she's got up for it.
And she's a queen.
They say they're having a hard time hearing you. So
Okay.
on the thing here, what is turned? Let me get back away from here.
Technical difficulties. Whoops. Here. We did that. We're going to figure this out.
Yeah, this is the way it should be for the smartphone.
Okay.
So maybe just speak up.
All right. Sorry. How is that?
Anybody tell any difference
check.
here?
Well, you can watch Nikita get a drink of water while we figure out our technology here. And if you really love watching Nikita, there is a camera here, as there are in many places throughout the sanctuary, attached to a website called explore.org. It is a 24/7 website. So you can, as long as she's in this section, which is her unroofed section, you will be able to see her. She does also have a roof section next door. And every cat who has an unroofed section also has a roof section as part of their enclosure, because we do get storms in Florida, sometimes very severe, and that's for their protection and for the integrity of, we don't want a tree limb to fall in such a way that could be an escape route, and also we don't want the cats to get hurt, obviously. And only Nikita and our tigers have unroofed sections, because tigers and lions don't climb or jump in the wild. Now, if we had Manny Jaguar in this enclosure, that would be
He wouldn't be in this
idea.
enclosure.
It would only be in there for a very short time.
They're saying they can hear you. They just can't hear me, but of course they can't hear me because I got a mask on and I'm
All right,
nowhere
good.
near
Thank
that
you,
microphone. Who's
Now,
next?
do you want me to read the whole book, even though?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, are there other cats we want to go to, or are there cats that are
We
gone?
should probably do that.
Well, you could handle some of them that are gone while I'm filming her drinking. Because at
right,
least we have a cat.
Our next page is Cameron and Zabu. And those of you who are more familiar with Big Cat Rescue know who Cameron and Zabu were. Unfortunately, they have crossed the Rainbow Bridge. Not here today. We are together. This, the only life we know. No choice but to bond. A place that is ours. I am king, and she is queen. Yellow ring, red ball. She had a good job.
Gotta pick a good spot to go lay in now.
And another page that is unfortunately cats that have recently crossed over. Aries, Artemis, and Orion. This new sound scares us. Mother is not moving. We hold each other. This place is all new. The air, the sun, the wildlife, content as we grow. And I feel fortunate to have been able to start volunteering here when these cougars were still with us. It was quite an experience to be close to them and hear them purr. And sadly,
Oh, what a purr, too.
oh my gosh, this before, when they were cubs, is because their mother was taken by a hunter and they were orphaned. So unfortunately cannot just rehab and re-release in the state that they were from. So they had to come to a sanctuary. And that was a better situation than going to a zoo. So they lived here for 15 years.
We just had somebody ask why cats can't be released after we rescue them.
Oh, well, and it depends on the situation. That's a good question. Here at Big Cat Rescue, we do have rehab bobcats. We have a whole program where bobcats, as long as they have not been kept in captivity, if they are rescued in the wild, we have a rehab area that is minimal human interaction. The keepers that go over there wear a ghillie suit, which makes them look like a big walking bush. Nobody goes on radio, nobody talks, and they are actually given live prey is released into their enclosure so that they have to hunt. And so they have the minimal captivity experience. The only thing is the outdoors, but it's very wild. The enclosure, it has lots of treed areas and grass and bushes and things that they would have out in the world. So we are permitted to release those bobcats because they're...
I keep moving away from you to
I'm
put
sorry.
space between you. You keep following me.
They're native to Florida, and also so that's key. The cat has to be native to the habitat where it can't be released. That's like a really important number one. And also, Fish and Wildlife Service permits that we may do that. So if you have a lion and you're in Florida, that is not a lion's habitat. So therefore Nikita was not able to be released, plus she was declawed, so she wouldn't have been able to defend herself or hunt. So there's lots of reasons, but the main reason is that it's illegal to just release an animal in an area that's not native to that animal. Did that answer the question that was asked?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, good. All right, well, let's move on. And I'm actually going to take those of you that have the book, I'm going to take it out of order a little bit because of the way the cats' habitats are here, the way their enclosures are, so that we don't have to drive and overlap our driving.
I need your face mask back on if
Yep,
you're going to
yep.
be this close.
I'm turning this way, away from you.
Who's next?
All right, sorry about that. So I think that we come next to, so let's skip Gilligan. Next we're going to come to Jinx. So that's exciting. Jinx just does happen to be my favorite cat here at Big Cat Rescue, so that's just a bonus.
I'm thinking he could be like anywhere from here all the way around.
Yeah, he has quite a large enclosure, and it actually, part of the front of it is here, and then it goes behind through a tunnel, and then it comes out in another area. So there's lots of options with Jinx. He might be, sometimes he's in this den down here on the hill, sometimes he's all the way in the way back. So this is all part of the design of the sanctuary, is that we try to imitate the cat's natural inclinations, what they would do in the wild if they were free to live as they should. Here he is. He's in the way back.
Not the way back machine, just the way back.
So what that means is that they have plenty of opportunities to be seen or not be seen, and it's their choice. Now, a time that you really can... Is that good distance for him? He's being adorable. I say being adorable, but he is a black leopard. So, we say adorable, but do not be fooled. This is not a house cat.
He's doing his flat cat thing.
Hello, handsome. Looking to read to you. Is everybody still able to hear me? Good. All right. This is Jinx. I smell fear from him. He needs to be in control, but I am not tame. This place is mine now. I choose to be seen or not. I have trained them all. And this is really true. This is completely Jinx. He is extremely smart, as most of the cats are. And Manny's trying to check us out in the back there. But he is exceptionally good at operant conditioning, which is what we do. There are some behaviors that we need the cats to do for their care and for observation. So things like walking back and forth to see how they're moving, to make sure that they're walking normally and no limp or anything like that. We need them sometimes to be able to go comfortably into their feeding lockout, which is right over here where you see the water dish. That's not his, because he's trying to sit there. So he's on vacation, so maybe this one's better. There's a feeding lockout behind us. but it's very small, so for a big cat to feel comfortable to go in there for any reason, it's good to have that training so that they don't get stressed out when they do that. So he's very smart at that, and he even anticipates the command before it happens. Thank you, you're just being so, okay, tell me more, talk about me more. So Jinx came from Ohio, and he was confiscated. Actually, the state of Ohio has really good laws that are enforced around ownership of big cats, and he came here with Duchess and Sapphire and Jasmine Tiger. And they were here for about 4 years before it became official that this was their forever home. And if you do have this book, the part I'm reading is towards the front, but in the back includes all the bios of the cats as well as photographs.
Can you flip through those?
Yeah, let me show you Jinx bio real quick. So, for example, here's Jinx. So it will give you all that bio information that I'm sharing with you, and also a photograph. I could stand for all day.
People are saying Merry Jinxmas.
Yes, exactly. All right, we should probably move. Even though I don't want to. Actually, we may not need to go on the cart. Chaos and Cyrus are next, so.
You can't get there without going out the gate, though.
But cart-wise, do you want to get back on the cart?
Oh, no. And I didn't latch it. I just moved it up against there.
This gets very complicated in the age of All right, so right next door to Jinx, and you can see that this is his bubble. He has all of their standards. It totally goes along the back and on the far end that we passed. So we can't even fit in the shot all the space that these cats have. So this is Chaos. She's a female, and she's currently over here. This is called our Funcation rotation. And every month a different cat gets to spend time in there, just as another form of enrichment. The same reason that you or I would like to go on vacation, just get tired of the same scenery, the same routine. So this is good for their mental health. It's stimulating to come in here, and new sights and new sounds and new smells, and all the smells of the cat that was in there before that they have to get rid of. So as you know, probably know, cats mark their territory. They're very scent driven. And I should have pointed out all the Christmas trees too. So every cat does in December get a pine tree for Christmas. That's another form of enrichment, because the smell is very stimulating. They enjoy that. They rub on it, chew on it, pee on it. So it looks like it's empty right now, but that's because she's having her vacation. And then if you see this area right here, this is a tunnel that can be connected up, so she can just walk right through. Pretty ingenious system, actually. So Cyrus, she could be anywhere. I think the last time I saw her Sunday, she was in the back.
They really like that back section.
Yeah.
Very
I
shady.
think for the smaller cats, maybe it feels more safe. Like maybe this is just too much. I don't know.
I haven't looked on the cameras to see if they're more active at night.
Oh, perhaps. Yeah. So Cyrus and Chaos also came from Ohio. And unfortunately, they were used for breeding, because a lot of breeders want to try to make more exotic pets, and so they will either breed full-blooded caracals and servals, or they will do a hybrid of one of those cats and a domestic cat. So they were kept in nothing like this. They were like in half a garage when they were kept by the breeder. this is really quite an improvement for them. I was hoping to find Mr. Cyrus.
I don't think he can be in here. He's got to be over there.
Yep. In the ferns.
Hello. Did you just decide you're going to do so nicely? I'm going to be on camera and get the pose.
I think one more loop.
This is clearly not an area that I clean. It's my little bit unfamiliar area back here. So this is Cyrus. He's the male caracal, and Chaos is the female caracal that they were rescued together, and she is on vacation. Chaos and Cyrus. We live together, a choice that was made for us, like losing our claws. We have our own space. No demands upon us now. Free to be ourselves. And that is a picture. I remember I had to make that adjustment when I asked my daughter to do the illustrations because she had this information and she assumed that they lived together here. And I said, oh no, they don't. So we made that change. So caracals have these incredible ears.
You can really see them in the picture here. And he's flicking his ears, which is cool.
What they're especially good at is jumping into the air and swatting birds out of the air in one jump. They can get up to as many as 10 to 15 birds in one jump, which is incredible. And imagine a cat like that being confined to half of somebody's basement or garage. It is heartbreaking, doesn't begin to cover it. And I think we can all feel a little empathy as we've been feeling some limits on our movement during this COVID epidemic, and just imagine if that was always your situation and there was nothing you could do about it. You can have a little bit of an idea from the cat's perspective. So we'll walk over here and see if we can find Chaos. I think her face, you can really tell if you look at Cyrus and Chaos, one right after the other. She is a little more, let's say, non-people friendly. Not sure about us. We won't bother you too. You may notice that there's straw in the dens as we walk along. That's because it has gotten, for Florida, a little cooler this month, and when the temperatures start to drop for the smaller cats especially, we add that for some extra warmth.
Somebody has sleepy eyes.
Yes.
Are you sleeping?
There's even some of the cats who have heating pads in their dens. We have many cats here who are over the age of 20. So for people, that would be equivalent to being over 100. So they do have all the same kind of issues of old age. They might have arthritis. That helps with that if they have something nice and warm. This cat, she has a heating pad now on her bed to help with her arthritic back. All right, so probably, do you want to walk to Zucari or do you
Sure.
want to get the walk?
He's like right next door.
Probably.
Getting on and off the cart with this thing is not easy
Right.
anyway.
And Zucari was actually rescued from the same breeder in Ohio as caracals you just met. And he's watching us come. He said, oh, I heard my name. I heard you were coming.
I think somebody must be out there giving treats because Chaos really perked her ears up.
Hello, handsome.
Hey. Did you know you were in a book? You're famous.
So this handsome boy is a serval named, yes, he's doing typical serval. That's known as the serval hiss, and that's just pretty much, it's like a tiger chuffing or Gilligan doing his hooting. That's just what they do, they hiss. And he is 5 years old, so he is our youngest serval on property. And we'll go ahead and read his pages for you. No sun or fresh air, tame and wild all together, forced to live as one. There is room to move, exploring, chasing, smelling, a frog or a snake. And he does have, we will walk it and show you. There's quite a bit of space back here, quite a large enclosure, because he is very active due to his age. And if you're not familiar with servals, servals are from Africa, naturally, and they are extremely good hunters. Their success rate is the highest among all the types of cats in the wild. They are known to catch about 50% of what they hunt. You can see those long legs, and they're also extremely good jumpers, like caracals, as far as going for birds. They're fast. They have spots and stripes that help with camouflage.
Maybe if we follow him, he can lead us through his habitat.
And they're also extremely aggressive, and so why people want to keep them as pets is a bit of a mystery. I guess the lure of the exotic, but it doesn't usually go. He's taking us on a tour.
You can keep going.
You want us to walk first?
Lisa has toys on her ears.
But you're not going to get them. All right, we'll continue around this way. Take us any further. This is still Zucari. Has some enrichment in there. He likes to get up in the very top and be masterful in the hotter buns, they like to lay on these cooleroos. A nice breeze. I'm giving you enough. Just tell me because I'm not. And I have had the experience of feeding Zucari. Training right now to be a feeder. And right here you can see a door that can be shut. The cable is over here. And he is what is known as a lockout cat, which means that door has to be down before we feed him. Because he's young and he's quick and he's pretty aggressive when there's food involved. So it would not be a good idea to try to put yourself and food between Zucari and your right? You're gonna watch us from over there.
1, 2, 3 or 4.
He's left us though. He's sitting down here. So do you want to just keep going all the way to Gilligan on foot?
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, now he's calling. Okay, come back.
I think that was cricket.
Oh, really?
Cricket's very
I thought it was behind me.
You okay with this tree?
Yes.
Wow.
No, I'm fine. I'm really fine.
Make life a little easier for you. There's Sheena back there. What do you think, Cricket? So as you can see, we have many servals here. Part of the reason we have so many servals rescued is because of this exotic pet trade. So that people either want full servals or they want to use them with domestic cats to produce hybrids called Savannah cats. We also have several Savannah cats here for the same reason. It just generally doesn't go well. People are expecting the domestic cat side to be more predominant than it is, and the cats end up peeing everywhere and scratching and biting and not able to easily digest domestic cat food, and they really don't want to be held and snuggled. And okay, we have to look at Smalls. Smalls isn't in the book, but come on. And that's good because we talked about Windsong, but we need to see a real live bobcat here.
I can't believe these two behind me haven't come up. But that is adorable, Smalls.
And she has this amazing whole playground here that all belongs to her. And I think sometimes she wants Nabisco and Flint to come play. So she would like to invite them over. I've seen them chase each other in the morning before feeding.
Aww.
She'll get the zoomies and start running, and they'll run on this side and back and forth. Very sweet. As you can see, this place is very treed, very natural, very beautiful. I have to say, it's hard to relay maybe this experience over the video, but it's a very peaceful place. It's a very healing place. If we ever get a chance to ever have people ever again and be in the normal world, so to speak, it's a wonderful place to be. Okay, sometimes he's there, sometimes he's down there, sometimes he's over here. He's got a few spots, Mr. Gilligan.
Not any of. Oh, there he is, right there.
Ah, you're just doing that great camouflage. Oh, and Frankie, look at Frankie peeking.
Are you guys playing? How precious.
He just looked at us kind of hopeful, and he's over by his feeding block out. So. Sorry, all I have is a book, buddy. But I am going to go back. I'm going to read Gilligan's page for you. Gilligan had what has to be one of the absolute worst experiences before he came to Big Cat Rescue. Pretty awful conditions that no living being should have to ever experience, right? So this is Gilligan. All I smell is death. I cannot escape my filth. Freedom is a dream. Walking through the ferns, hooting as I move along, then lying in shade. You look back at us like, aren't you coming?
You were acting out your part, weren't you?
It'd be nice if you hoot. It'd be an extra bonus if you hoot.
I don't usually, unless
Yeah.
I sneak up on him, I don't catch
Right.
him.
So you can see he has his pine tree there is Christmas tree. He's posing. Look at the size of those paws. So Gilligan is a Canada lynx, and that and those very prominent ear tufts, those are really what make a lynx distinctive. That and the tip of his tail is completely black. So they're very similar to a bobcat, but if you notice those differences, that really sets them apart. So those really big paws act like snowshoes, because a Canada lynx should be living in Canada. He should be walking around in the snow hunting snowshoe hare for his diet if he were living as he's meant to be. So those big paws act like giant snowshoes. And those ear tufts help him with wind direction when he's hunting. And they can hear a snowshoe hare 3 feet under the snow and then just pounce and bring it up. Very good hunters. All these cats are uniquely adapted features for wherever their habitat is, and even though they've all come from captivity, their genetics are still there, so those adaptations that would serve them well in the wild are still part of who they are. And you can see how with these stones that he would just blend right in. Now when it does get very warm down here, he does have access to that large den that is air conditioned. So in the really intense heat and humidity, July and August, he does have access to that. To say, he often surprised me how little he made use of that, though. He would more often than not be right here in the shade under his platform.
Surprises me too. You'd think with that thick fur he'd want to be in the air conditioning all the time, but I almost never catch him in there. You gonna show people how it works?
Are we getting any questions at all?
Benjamin said he's glad to hear that his den is air conditioned. Can we move over a little closer? So I can put this up and not have wire in the way. It's just such a beautiful shot of him. I hate to walk away from it.
Well, I was hoping that maybe we had some young people joining us today, and hopefully you're learning some things about the cats and about Big Cat Rescue.
Bill wants to know what the annual budget is. Do you know?
Oh, I don't know off the top of my head, but
I do.
But, yeah, Carol knows the answer to that.
We have to raise about $3.5 million a year. Every year. Renee wants to know how old he is.
He is about 14, yeah. He's 13 right now, and he'll be 14 his next birthday. A lot of the cats, you know, it reminds me of when I taught English language learners in Ohio. If people are refugees, they assign them the birthday of January 1st.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Records are lost. And we have a lot of January 1st cats for the same reason, that if it's unknown what their history is. So.
Madison Ann says she is learning tons, and I know Madison Ann just put in her application for
Hi, Madison.
A volunteer next summer. All right, well, if you're going to go to sleep, we will let you do that.
But isn't it amazing, that camouflage
Yeah.
between the shadows and the stone wall behind him and what's on the ground? It's like you could very easily in the wild walk past that and not know it was there.
And that's one of the things you guys have to do every day, is make sure the cat actually is there.
Yeah, exactly. And everybody was accounted for today, and we had a fairly good poop day. There were just a few non-participators, but yeah.
Barbara
I think made up for about 3 days. She did a lot today.
Barbara wants to know why they have those big ear tufts.
Oh, that helps with wind direction when they're hunting. It sends which way the wind is blowing.
All right. Who's next on your list?
Well, we have to get to Pria, so maybe we should grab the cart. What do you think?
We're like right in between, so
Yeah,
whichever
go
you
ahead.
prefer.
All right. Carol
Next
says
one
we're
this way?
walking. Oh, look at him. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, sweetie.
Frankie, that's pretty active for you, son.
Yeah, Frankie wants to know why we're not going over there and reading the books.
How could there be a book without you in it, Frankie?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe there needs to be a follow-up because there's so many so many cats. Like the Guatemalan tigers came after, and so many, the 4 from California came after. There's so many cats. So many stories to tell. I don't know if I could do justice to the Guatemalan tiger story. That would be
A whole book.
something, yeah, exactly. See if let's play Spot the Bobcat.
I haven't seen the bobcat
Look for
yet.
that tree and then look down.
Oh, okay. Hi. You guys still haven't seen the cat? Here we go. Going in closer, closer, closer. Bobcat.
Again, doing what they do best.
Napping.
Napping and being cats. It is just ideal weather today, I have to say, but I started the morning, I've been gradually taking layers off. I started the morning with 2 sweatshirts on and gloves, and then as the day went on, the sun came out more and more. Oh, we have to show them cats. So this little house belongs to a hybrid cat named King Tut, and we have volunteers here who produce what's called enrichment, and this is basically just cardboard and paper, but they do these incredibly creative things for the cats. And of course, the cats don't know it's Christmas, but the humans have fun doing this, and the cats enjoy it just because what cat doesn't like to be inside a box, basically.
And he's got his naughty list on the wall in there.
Yeah, he does, which is hilarious. Can we see it from here? He has the names of all the coordinators inside, and it says the naughty list. So again, that's just another form of enrichment, another way to keep their lives interesting, to keep them mentally active, and it also is encouraging some natural behaviors, like having a place to hide out. Like it's tiger sleeping time. So we're coming up on Tiger Lake, for those of you that know the sanctuary pretty well. And Miss Duchess is up on her platform. And Duchess didn't make the book because I chose Jinx instead out of that group, out of the Fab Four. So sorry, Duchess. That was the reason. I was trying to tell as many different kinds of stories about why the cats came here as possible, and also show as many different species as possible. So that was my thinking when I made my selections. So if I left out one of your favorite cats, I apologize. So Miss Pria is our last cat. Now the question is, will we see her?
She's another one, even though she's got that huge space, she's usually in this
Yes,
little
exactly.
tiny spot up here.
Den.
Looks like somebody left a gift outside her
I
den.
know, right?
Did she do that?
Pria.
Do you see her?
Or it could be down that one. Pria.
Sounds like the beginning of that chia.
So
The
we
chia
stopped
pet.
at Five Eyes for whatever reason. That's how I say your name. She might be in this den down here.
There's a couple acres back there. She could be anywhere.
Now, she snuck up on me last week when I was singing.
Oh, you can still read your story.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think we should go up on the bridge?
We can
Might be a
look.
nice spot. We should ask the
Explore people.
explore.
Well, Deb was just saying she was in the woods last Saturday.
All right, well, maybe we should do by the picture. All right, I'm going to go ahead with her page in the book. Perhaps she will still make her way out. Sorry. There she is. All right. This is Pria. There was life inside. Now constant pain is with me. Where are the small ones? Grass, sun, and water. There is no more pain inside. Splashing in my lake. And the original, when I started this, Pria used to live where Jasmine Tiger is now. And she used to always splash in her pool when I would take tour guests by. So she has always been a fan of water, for sure.
Little mermaid.
Her before story is pretty tragic as well. She was used for speed breeding of tiger cubs for the cub petting industry. And she came from a place called Serenity Springs in Colorado, and it nearly killed her, basically. She was so sick from that process when she arrived here that luckily the cat rescue is an amazing place. The veterinary care and the hospital and the volunteers and the staff here, what they're able to do with cats who are in such distress is pretty amazing. So her life was saved. And now she's living the dream on Tiger Lake with Duchess. And she just turned 17 last Sunday, for those of you that were here for that. Her birthday. So that is, unfortunately, in some ways, all the cats from the book who we can visit with today.
Where can they find the book?
The book is at bigcatfun.com, and I believe, if I'm correct, there are 2 platforms that you can do a digital platform or a hardcover.
Great.
And we will be doing this again next Wednesday, so if you know some young people out there who would be interested, pass the word. That's the same time, and it will be also singing Sunday, this Sunday at 2 o'clock.
So 1 p.m., well, 2 p.m. next Sunday, and then 1 p.m. the following Wednesday.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for being here today, and I wish you all the best, and we will see you Sunday. Have a perfectly awesome Christmas. And we'll
Catmas.
see you before then. Catmas. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Lisa.